Welcome to my channel. I'm Sean and I will be reading you a story. Today's story is inspired by a YouTuber, Felix Schellberg, aka PewDiePie. This story is a fictional piece and it should be seen that way. The purpose of this story is meant to be an entertainment and not a statement. The story contains a graphic depiction of violence, so this story may not be meant for you. Please consult with an adult if this content is right for you. If you keep watching this video, you'll be doing that at your own responsibility. You've been warned. Today's story is called The Brotherhood of the Fist. So, let's begin. A white triangle, a symbol of Trinity and peace, resting on a red field, made a banner that flapped on the wind. Smoke polluted the air, while fire and screams corrupted the senses of a knight prompting himself atop of the hill. His visor caught the sight of a village set ablaze, raiders reappearing in a distortion of the flames, chasing the poor villagers. The night's spectre obstructed the light of dawn, where a sigil of a fist radiated on his mecha suit. He threw his gaze over the shoulder and saw his army standing ready for a clash. It was a renowned Order of the Fist, a brotherhood, an army made of veteran soldiers. A 9-year-old call for service brought them the memories of all the battles won, and they knew that this shall be the mother of all battles. The war turned them into the heroes with scars they proudly wore on their faces. Only one of them was far more glorious than the others. Their leader, the infamous Lord Felix Schellberg of Tuberfield. His trusted warhounds Edgar and Maya came onto his sides, their metal fur ruffled as they snarled at the enemy in the distance, sniped them with the killer eyes, awaiting orders. Deep exhale switched his armor active, and the lights gradually went on. Nevering Paladin crossbowmen count 1,000 in numbers, Amore. My indicators are showing their leader is close by, but you must destroy his mercenaries. An electronic voice spoke from the suit. I know, Marzia. Felix gasped. This stinks of Tsar Herion. He came here to claim Tuberfield for himself. He shall receive steel instead. The hero locked his weapon that collected the energy for a skirmish. Brad 1 and 2 ready for fire, Amore. Stai attento, Marzia proclaimed. The knight rose up his clutched fist, and the gauntlet shone brightly before the loyal warriors. A thunderous cry broke behind him. He turned in all of his glory and threw a gaze over a crowded field. Once again upon the battlefield, my oathmen. Once more, my brothers, we defend our own. Once again, we march to glory, to fray, to war. Felix roared and swung his frowned gaze at the approaching enemy. Anticipating combat, he gnashed at the warhounds. Fetch me their spines! The hounds dashed at the rim of the village when an order broke off from the hill and descended at a line of nevering crossbowmen. In a slow pace, the mechanite entered the village, past the flames that twisted upon his structure, and kept moving towards the chock of nevering soldiers. Their bolts did no damage. With a wide-span thrust, Felix's rune gauntlet of Cyberheim swooshed through the enemy ranks. In their wake, only blocks of lasagna stood spiraling near the ground, all of them enchanted with flares and sparkles. He only needed to make a step, and the lasagna was absorbed into his armor. Energy collected Marzia noted. The Order was making a breach in the left, tearing down the barrier, while the right flank was being suppressed by the Neverin bolts. Edgar and Maya raced on the outskirts, ripped the sharpshooters apart, and kept moving. It seemed so effortless for the warhounds to do that. Their laser eyes sporadically burned through the running Nevarians, while a dim ground reverberated in their metal jaws. They dashed onward and engaged the enemy at the war engine, with the left flank slashed the enemy mass down the middle. The fight was led on all sides, bodies falling down, brave warriors respawning, while after the Neverin, only the lasagna was left to spiral. Felix slashed and bashed the enemy until he came upon a line of crossbowmen holding hostages. He changed his posture and loaded the blasters. Brads sizzled with energy. Call up your hounds and steady your men if you want these subscribers. The hooded paladin gushed the words, holding a dagger to the hostage's throat. Let go of my people and I might let you live. Felix replied, but the man stood motionless. With a sense of unease, mercenaries looked at each other. They left the hostages and charged at Felix, their daggers glistening on the light. The attackers froze in motion. Lord Shellberg wasn't in his spot. It was like he disappeared, melted with the air. He was gone. A flash took them by surprise, and a great thing set them in a shadow. Nani! One of them cried, barely moving his eyes at Felix, who stood above him, aiming at the man on the ground. Beams of fire shattered the crossbowmen, blinded the bystanders, and disintegrated the foolish warriors. The force following Felix has prevailed. A joyful cheer announced the victory soon to come, when on the opposite hill, a thunderclap and a grey cloud of dust rose up. All of them shielded themselves for a moment. When the air cleared, they could see a man in an extraordinary garb, standing calmly on the other end, his shadow reaching far into the village. Tsar Arion has entered the theater, Amore. His level is at 399. Marzia warned Felix, frightened as this was almost the ultimate level.
Felix, you worthless knave, I've stepped forward to throw you in a grave. You're doomed, the end is near. I claim your village, you hear?
The Tsar pointed at Felix, challenging him to a duel.
Rhymes, really?
Felix gasped.
Cuberfield belongs to subscribers, not you. Let's make peace, while I still allow it.
Felix extended his gauntlet of Brotherhood, but found a caped Tsar laughing at the thought.
The peace you crave, in peace I cannot be swayed. I offer you the other end of my blade.
As he spoke those words, a double-headed axe formed in his hand, a dreadful thing bitten by combat.
It will all come to an end very fast. It will all come to pass.
Grim expression, and the huge Tsar came down, shaking the very earth beneath him. Felix waved at his order to stand back, while he deals with the Tsar. He clutched his fingers into a fist, and his whole suit tightened. Amore, the Tsar is too powerful. Let him have this battle, for the sake of peace. Marzia ushered, but Felix had no ears for such words.
No, my priceless Vicenza jewel. This is bigger than Cuberfield. This is beyond the mortals. This is a war for free Cuberfield, for free thought, for free choices. This is a battle made for me,
Felix replied when a groan passed the Tsar and an enormous blade swooshed above his head. Armor entered a full combat mode and Felix started relocating while Brad spouted fire, and the duel has begun. The second swing punched the Lord in his chest and launched him in the nearby house. No time to be wasted, Felix engaged his thrusters and flung aside the Tsar's T-shaped axe. Dozens of shots landed, but it only made Arion lose balance for a moment. The third strike, Felix blocked it and caught the blade with an open gauntlet. A kick from the Tsar set the blade free for an next blow that barely missed Felix.
Accept the truth. You are gone. The battle is over. I have won.
The Tsar proclaimed, slowly approaching the panting Felix.
But can you do this?
A strong growl from Felix and the fist of Brotherhood appeared in the air. The time froze. The image of a fist zoomed in the Aryan's eyes. The crowd gasped and the world spun around those two. The clash of bosses, two sides colliding, seemed thrilling and dramatic. At this moment, flashes came and went in their minds. The world spun again as they both stood, witnessing the imminent punch, the end of the battle. A cry from the Brotherhood only echoed in a frozen second. Again, the fist was flying, slowly and true. Over and over again, the gauntlet of Cyberheim was following a trajectory, but never laying a punch. And the world made its third spin when time got back to normal. The strike made a deafening crack, so loud it clogged the ears. Tsar Arion has fallen, never to rise again. Nature bounced back to the colors, beautiful and majestic. The birds chirped while the crowd rejoiced the victory. Everyone smiled at the Nevarian paladin crossbowmen retreating behind a hill, reducing to a small dot in the distance. Everyone was happy, but not the Lord of Tuberfield. Deep down, he knew that this war was in vain. Nation of the West and the nation of the East suffered the same plague. In this, they are the same. The world they share is a world full of fear and misery. Only a fool would celebrate over others' suffering. This wasn't the Felix in a way others presented him. He understood the situation we were in. He saw it in his enemy's eyes as his body was fading out, merging with the pixelated ground where a wooden crate took shape. He reached for the lock and opened the crate where a yellow glow washed over his face. With the gauntlet, the sigil of his army and the Brotherhood, the most honorable mark of rebellious nature, he picked up the loot in the box. A great golden crown twinkled in the metal hand, and the army boomed with joy. It was a moment forever to be remembered, when a simple lord became a king. Warhounds Edgar and Maya came to their king's side, stopped beneath the mighty Brad blasters, and took a bow at the 9-year-old Brotherhood of the Fist. Game over. Thank you kindly for watching this video. Tell me what you think about it in the comments. If you have a suggestion on who should be in my next story, please don't be shy. Links in the description for this video will take you to my blog where I post stories on a daily basis. There are also the links to my Facebook and Twitter. You can use those to get notified when I post poems, videos of illustrations, tutorials, and my stories. Until the next time, take care and bye. Next story.